subscribe. Darling radio, like and subscribe.
Let's get Amro. Amro.
Tariq, I got a couple of critiques for you.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that FBA patent that you say you're not a leader
Yep, let's talk
of
about
the FBA. Let's talk about it. You are the leader of FBA.
No, I'm not. And I'm not because you say so. You can't make me a leader of some There's no group called FBA.
Well, if you have a patent to it, that means you are the leader.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, sir. Yes, it does.
You lying don't make it true, sir. No, it don't.
Sir, if you patent something, that means you claim ownership of it,
No,
right?
you can't own a lineage. That don't make sense.
Sir, if you patent FBA, that means you own the lineage. You made the word up, you own it, thus owning a lineage.
So, by your definition, I have a trademark on a product with the name FBA. I don't own the lineage, sir. You can't own lineages, sir. I know you don't know. I know you're remedial and you don't know better. But, sir, using your logic, there are several owners of African American because there's 2,000 trademarks for the word African American. So, do 2,000 people own the African American lineage?
Well, technically speaking, yes and no. You own the word, technically speaking, sir, right?
No. Do those people own the word African American? Again, there's 2,000 people.
Yes,
Then why do everybody else use it?
because they made it popular like you're doing, Mr. Leader.
Right. Well, you saying leader doesn't make it true, sir. There's patents on the word Nigeria. There's patents on the word Puerto Rican for different products. There's no owner of Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? What you're saying is falling flat. Not working. That's why this narrative that I own the patent, which I don't own a patent, I own a trademark for a product with the name FBA on it. So that's why this narrative always falls flat. Are you guys frustrated because this narrative just never took off and people ain't come?
Sir, let's talk about your African lineage because you are African.
Everybody's African.
No, don't try to play the out of Africa trick with me, sir. You are an African American.
Everybody has African DNA.
Yours is more recent than everyone, right?
No,
Yes.
nobody in my family has been in Africa for centuries. It's not recent, sir.
Well, on the grand scale of the world, it is recent.
No,
400 years is recent on the grand scheme of humankind.
no, because there was an ethnogenesis. So everybody came from Africa at one point. You don't call Jamaicans Afro or African Jamaicans. They're just Jamaicans, and they've been here around the same time as us. Why don't you call them African Jamaicans?
Well, they don't deny their African roots.
Then why don't you call them? I don't deny it either. I just said I have African roots like everybody on the planet. So why don't you call them African Jamaicans? Why are you trying to Africanize me, sir?
Well, I can understand where you're going with that. I get that. Yes, I understand. I personally don't try to call Black Americans African, but a lot of your FBA buddies are thinking that they're the Indians, which is not true. They're Africans that had an amalgamation in the United States.
Well, the thing is, there were Black Aboriginals here, which has been scientifically proven historically.
No.
So,
Sir, I looked up Lucia Woman. They said that they already made the reconstruction of it. At first, they believed she had Negro features, and then the second time they had to relook at it and said that no, it wasn't Negro features. In fact, she had the Red Indian features. So that's falling flat, sir.
no, it hasn't. They've not reclassified the features. You
No,
don't make a
look it up, sir.
no, so no. You cannot reconstruct something and say, oops, we made a mistake. No, they did make a mistake. Lucia woman has the phenotype of Negroes. And there's other books and other documents showing that the Aboriginal people here had the same phenotype. Go check out Von Woutenau's book, Unexpected Faces in Early America. They have dozens and dozens of artifacts of ancient Aboriginal people who were here for thousands of years who look like Gucci Mane. So, this is a scientific fact. You have other scholars and scientists for centuries saying that there were Black tribes over here who look like tribes in Africa. This has been corroborated by science, eyewitness accounts, archaeological evidence, sir. Now, Mr. Afro, now, where are you from? So, what part of Africa is your family from, sir?
I'm not. I'm American, sir.
What part of Africa is your family from, sir?
I'm from Fiji.
You're not from no damn Fiji. Sir. The
Yes,
fact that you have to keep lying proves that there's a lot of tether, jealousy, and hostility because foundational Black Americans didn't flee and we stood on our lineage business, sir. That's why you're trying to redefine our lineage. You can't do that, sir. You don't have the clout. And plus, the lying tether thing is played out. That makes us further want to delineate. You see?
why the hell are you FBAs hating on us? What on Africans so bad? Hmm?
We were,
What's with the hate and vitriol against Africans, sir?
sir, you hate up. You don't hate down. You don't have anything to hate. What do you have to hate?
Sir, you hate us because you are denying us being y'all. We are just like.
No, you guys were the ones who came up with terms like akata, terms like beads and jaridirs and all types of derogatory names for us. You've done that. You've othered us. You other each other in Africa. That's why y'all have a gazillion tribes and you don't get on code with each other, sir. So you're not going to project that onto us. You understand?
Are you all proud of your European lineage? Does that make you proud knowing grandmama wasn't able to keep massa off her? Is that proud?
You mean how the British was buck breaking y'all over there on West Africa and all over the place? How they had y'all bent over, rubbing shea butter on your bussy? Are you upset about that? Because y'all were getting buck broken at the same time, sir, when you were being colonized. Your whole right?
Sir,
Hold, hold on,
there's
hold on,
literally zero.
hold down. Hold. Let me get my brother Average in here. Let's get Average, brother Average.
Hey, I hope you're having a good night. Yeah, this guy is ridiculous. First of all, coming in with this inferring, insistent tone, trying to sell a lie about a product that has FBA on it. That's one thing. And then, of course, when he started losing, then it becomes, oh, well, you have African blood. Everybody wants Black Americans to be African, but never have the same smoke for Jamaicans, Brazilians. Brazilians the biggest quote unquote Black population outside of Africa.
Mhm.
But nobody ever wants to make Brazilians out. You don't call them Afro Brazilians. You don't call Jamaicans Afro Jamaicans. None of that. You want us to be Africans so bad, and it's because of the bag. It's because you can eat off of us. You trying to be us. You couldn't even be. He couldn't even be real about his heritage. And then to your earlier point, I came up for is the fact that first of all, the Democrats lost about 40% of the Black vote from one election to another. And the reason why was not just a lowered percentage, but like 30 something, almost 40% people showed less votes showed up. So there was a lower percentage and there was a lower turnout on top of that. So our power is immense and we showed it in this loss. And I land my plane there.
Man, thank you so much, brother. That's brother Average in the building.
Well, nice try, average, but actually, the biggest black population outside of Africa per capita is Panama, sir. So you're wrong about that, brother average. Okay? Look it up. Now, back to.
Panama is very small. Panama is not even a big country. It's Brazil. Brazil has the
No, sir. A lot of those people identify as Pardo or whatever. We're talking about real black people.
Yeah, in Panama, they identify as Latino and Hispanic. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, either way, we don't have any white blood in us. All right, you FBAs are extremely proud of your white blood, and it's strange.
No, y'all don't. Y'all got white, Asian.
No,
Yeah, the Asians are over there, dropping off anchor babies over there now. Y'all have, especially in West Africa, y'all have the Langados, y'all have those Portuguese would mix in with the African royalty. They would become the intermediaries between the slave trade. So yeah, y'all been mixing with Europeans for a long time over there, sir. Let's not play that game.
not on the grand scale like you FBA lineage.
And then mixing with the Arabs over there in East Africa, you had Tipu Tip, who had an Arab dad and a dark African mother, and he took on the ideology of that Arab dad, and he was a major enslaver over there. So yeah, you don't want to play that game now. Oh, you don't want to play that game, sir.
Majority of sub-Saharan Africans, Black Africans, have no little, well, actually zero European in us. We didn't have grandmama getting bent over by Carl
Uh,
or Jake. Okay,
That's why, sir, when y'all go over there to Britain, y'all, not even when you go to Britain, when the Queen died, y'all were rolling around in the dirt, getting grass and bushmeat all in your hair, crying. Y'all have an affinity for white supremacy. When the white people show up, you start doing your tribal dance and spreading your cheeks open, sir. So you don't want to go there with that. You don't want to go there with that. And the minute y'all get over to the West, y'all have anchor babies by whites. Y'all try to find the first white man. They go to Europe, they go find the first white man they can find to have an anchor baby. So yeah, you don't want to play that game.
can you just admit that we are similar? We Africans are your brothers. You Americans are an extension of us. No doubt about that, sir. Cannot deny that.
Really?
Yes, you are an
How-
extension of us.
Then how come we can't go over there and get easy citizenship without dropping off a bag if we're an extension of everybody?
Everyone must pay. What country can you go in and just gain land without paying?
Y'all ain't.
That's
Y'all don't. You don't. Y'all come over here bragging that I had $2 when I got to America, nigga. So yeah, you ain't. You coming over here eating. You ain't paying nothing. You come over here, just pull up a plate and you eat. Y'all ain't paying nothing. You you can get over here and eat good. But now, things are a little different today, as of today, with some of these roundups. But yeah, a lot of y'all don't even have to pay nothing. You just mosey around the border and bam, things are popping for you.
what do you all expect for us when you go to Africa, sir? What do you expect?
We're chilling here. We're chilling here. We're good here. We ain't really bum rushing to get over there like that. And shout out to some of the riders. But yeah, we good here. We built a great lineage where we don't have to flee all over the place. We stand on business and we handle our candle. Why won't you do the same?
Since you admit that you have African in you,
Like
and
like
that
everybody on the planet, right?
it's more recent than everyone else, you have more African, of course, than someone
So it's not.
white, of course.
It's because the nation states don't even exist that were around when some of our ancestry was there. Those nation states don't even exist. It's completely different over there, sir. They've had an ethnogenesis there, and we've had an ethnogenesis. Those nation states no longer exist, sir. So
So
who are we
how
like? Who are we like?
how recent is your African ancestry? Is it from the transatlantic slave trade?
Sir, I've been here. My family has been here since the beginning of the United States. They built the United States from scratch, right? We've had it.
Ah, so the transatlantic slave trade. Yes, uh you have recent African heritage. So
That's not
America is just like America is ours as it is yours because you all are an extension of us
the how is it yours?
because we both have African in our blood. West African, sir.
But how is this yours? But Africa, I can't go over there and get no citizenship without giving somebody a big ass bag. So how does that work? How is all our stuff yours, but none of your shit is mine? Hmm?
Well, what do you want in Africa? You want a citizenship? Well, you have to know the right people. You can get it for free.
Yeah, we go over there and we get finesse left and right. But let me get my brother Kanye in here. Brother Kanye, hop in, sir.
What's going on, Flicks? How you doing, man?
Good, brother. We got this gentleman here who said, damn it, we're like him. We're all in this together. We're all the same, brother Kanye.
I hear him. Where you from, bro?
America.
Gotcha. You sound Nigerian. Are you from Nigeria?
America. I was born in America.
Gotcha, 100%. But like, are your people from Nigeria?
Somewhere around that area, sir. I don't want to give you my direct
No, it's okay. It's
lineage.
okay. It's fine. You don't have to. But are you familiar with the tribes in Nigeria?
Yes, very much
Um,
so.
are they different?
Kinda,
How so?
yes.
How so?
A lot of them have different roots in different areas, like the Hausa people. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's been told that they're, I guess it's a lie. I guess I'm not sure. From the Middle East. Some say they're from Chad, which is kind of like North Africa. It's like in the Sahel region. So, yeah, different
Gotcha. But they all
origins.
settled in. So I have a person I know from Nigeria, and he calls it Igbo land, but they call it Nigeria as a whole, right? And you can make the argument they kind of grew up close to each other, correct?
Correct.
But you would consider them different people.
They're all black. They all share the
That's
same
but yeah,
land.
they're different though. Like they would tell you that they're different. They have different thoughts about each other. They have different cultures, and they grew up right beside each other. Would you agree?
They all have the same mixture on 23andMe.
Yeah, but you would say they were different though. They would say they were different.
It's kind of like a play on semantics. They're all
Wait,
the
so are you
same.
trying to say they're all the same?
Yeah,
So they're not unique at all?
different cultures.
Yeah, but they
Like,
will argue they're different, and they will say that they're unique. Are you disagreeing with them?
I only consider people that are not members of the Negro race to be different. So that's a play on semantics.
That's a very interesting
They're
thing
all the
because
same.
they fight a lot of wars about this, about being different in cultures and stuff like that. And they basically the same people, like you're saying, right?
Right. I believe the wars are stupid and we should end the wars and help Africa.
Right. So I think you guys have a lot more to figure out about your neighbor who was really close to you in proximity versus who we are. Because I think we know who we are. Um, and as a matter of fact, we don't have these discussions, right? We have regional discussions, and it's not even that serious. Like I'm from Michigan. I grew up in the South. Then Flex is from the South. He grew up out west. But at the end of the day, we all FBA, right? And this is thousands of square miles apart. You got people live right next to each other and been fighting each other for centuries, even though they're the same exact people, as you would say, correct?
Correct.
So if they can't figure that out right next to each other, how the you gonna tell us what we are across the whole water in 300 to 400 years later? See how that sounds?
Are you all proud of slavery?
Sir, I'm asking a question,
Please
but do you see
answer
how that
that.
sounds?
I do. But please,
Okay,
I
but
have a
so you
question.
acknowledge, which is just for sure, but do you acknowledge that there is a difference, correct?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, amongst
No,
themselves,
but yeah, okay, so here
yes.
we go. We got either got the stutter, the ridiculous question, or the nervous laugh. Which one's coming next?
No laugh, sir.
There you go. Okay.
Serious.
There you go. So this is the problem, right? You guys will sit and tell each other all day long that your tribes are unique and different and special when you guys are basically the same person. Your words, not mine. And then you will look at us and say, hey, you guys have been away for 400 years. You have your own unique culture. You have different admixtures, different ethnogenesis, and say, but you know what? We're the same. And we're telling you in a respectful way, there is a difference, right? See, the difference between us and you all is we don't slaughter each other over minor differences because a person who grew up around.
Whoa. Please,
Go
brother,
ahead. Tell me
wait.
you guys don't.
Chicago, Baltimore, St. Louis, Baton Rouge, uh, Los Angeles, all the big cities. Please spare me. Please.
Are those
You
tribal
know it.
wars? What's going on with that situation? Those tribal
Gang
wars?
wars is a small fraction of tribal wars. It's
No,
all
those are people
tribalistic.
fighting for territory, drugs, and money. That's a whole
Yeah, it's
different
all
ball game.
tribalistic. They all claim a set. It's
Mm,
tribalistic, kind of
see,
like
now you're trying to
racism.
straw man, but you do agree with me that people in Igbo land or Nigeria are basically the same, but they have different tribes, and that makes them uniquely different from each other. You agree to that, right?
Different culture,
But
yes.
you would you agree to that?
Yes.
So if you can agree to that in the same exact country, then you can understand in two different continents how we are different, correct?
You all are not that different like you're trying to portray.
Okay, I think we done here. So thank
Wait,
you for
wait, wait, wait. Are you proud of that white in you? Does that make you proud?
Are you familiar with Nat Turner?
Yes, I
Are you
am.
familiar with all the slave rebellions that was going on?
Yes.
What Abraham Lincoln said.
Not sure what he said.
He said he cannot preserve the Union. You know why he said that?
Oh, because he needed black slaves to help fight. Yes, yes.
So there you go. There you have it. So we're fighting people. We've all been fighting. Are you proud of what the Chinese are doing in Nigeria right now?
Sir, I'm not even in Nigeria. I'm just as
I'm just
American
asking a
as you all.
question. I'm just asking a question.
Of course not. Of
Why
course
not?
not.
What's going on with that?
I don't know. I'm not in Africa. I'm
Have
in
you heard about
America.
what's going on?
Somewhat.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you might want to do some research on that. But
Why are
appreciate
you
it,
so
Flex.
divisive?
Divisive. I'm asking you questions about your. This is where you from, right? This is your homeland. These are your people.
America is my homeland.
Gotcha. So why you hate us so much?
I don't hate. I want you all to acknowledge that we're the same.
You just said we were different, though.
No, I said we're all the same.
So you got to pick a mic. You got to pick one. But all right, man. Y'all have a nice night. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother Kanye, cooking as usual. I had Brother McCall up here. What happened with Brother McCall? I had Brother McCall up here. I want him up.
Please don't add him. Please.
Why not, brother? That's my brother. We got McCall. I'm gonna get him back in a second. But yeah, brother, like we're saying, yeah, we had an ethnogenesis. We have African ancestry, but we had an ethnogenesis. Jamaicans, they have African ancestry, but they became their own ethnic group. Haitians have African ancestry, they became their own ethnic group. For some reason, I hate the fact acknowledge our ethnogenesis because you depend on us to be a generic African so that you can capitalize off of our accomplishments. That's what the vitriol is for, right?
Haitians acknowledge their African roots. Jamaicans acknowledge their African roots.
I just did too. You don't try to make them African Haitians or African Jamaicans. I've acknowledged African roots as well, but I am not an African American. I am a foundational Black American, sir. You see,
But you just tried to say, well, everybody's African.
they
It's a
are.
horrible argument.
They are.
It's a horrible argument. Yours is more recent than theirs.
Not really. I mean, damn.
Yes.
Oh, we were
Yes.
way too long, sir.
Transatlantic slave trade, 400 years on the grand scheme of human life, that is pretty recent.
Not really. Not really. And there were already Aboriginal Black people here. So
I've already debunked that, sir.
you didn't
Anyone with a
debunk that.
brain can go look that up.
You tether battled. You didn't debunk anything. Let me get Brother McCall. Brother McCall, hop in, sir. Hold on one second. Oh, let him in. Let me get him in. Yeah, you didn't debunk anything. You just did a little tether battling. You didn't debunk anything. Let's get my good brother
I
McCall in the.
well, I encourage everyone to go look up Lucia woman and read that article. They went back and changed her facial structure. She is not Negro.
Yes, she is.
Look that up. Please look that up.
Look,
Everyone, please.
she's still the same. Brother McCall, hop in, sir.
Thank you, great one. Mr. Amro, how are you, sir?
Good, sir.
Okay. What is your modus operandum? What do you want?
I want you all
Why?
to acknowledge that we are the same, and I want you all to stop being so hateful and divisive. You all are trying to act like the new Dominicans. Stop it.
Okay. Okay. Let me just speak for me. I don't like you. It's not that I don't hate you. You personally, I don't like.
Why?
Let's start there. Let me
Why?
continue. Where was your family in 1863? Between 1863 and the end of World War One, where was your family, and what were they doing?
On the continent of Africa. I don't want to tell you my exact lineage, but on the continent of Africa.
It's not necessary. What were they doing?
Probably reading the Quran or something. I'm not sure. I wasn't alive, Brother McCall. Were you, sir?
I have a hunch they were hunter gatherers. Would you concede?
No, sir. Actually, I'm West African. It wasn't many hunter gatherers because, well, the Europeans came through and they it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really
Mm-hmm.
that bad. It's not like living
Okay.
in a mud village or something.
Okay. Uh-huh. Well, we, between the emancipation and the end of World War One, we had completed 50,000 patents contributed to the United States. How many patents did your hunter-gatherer and family produce between that time, sir?
50,000 because we share the same ancestors. Your lineage is mine.
I, I asked you a question. We weren't hunter-gatherers.
You
I
have
asked you a
African in
question.
you, brother. You have African in you. We're all brothers. Your lineage is
Okay.
mine. 50,000, sir.
All right. Listen to me. Listen to me clearly. One acorn, two acorn, one bushel equals one monkey. Did you understand that? Thank you,
That
dear
is
brother.
that is the most
I will
evil
land.
thing I've
I
ever heard you
appreciate
say. Brother
See,
Macau, wait, Macau,
he
wait.
left. He left. He left. See, to what you want to do, this is what we're teaching the family here. You want us to be generic Africans so that you can claim our accomplishments. But the minute you guys accomplish something, you make sure you cut us off from it. If you were to get a scholarship or a degree or a PhD, you would run around, I'm a Nigerian American. This is a win for Nigeria. The minute y'all get a win, y'all cut us off of it. But you wanted credit for 50,000 patents from people from our lineage. It doesn't work like that. You know why it doesn't work like that? Because if you want to talk about Africa and you being West African, you sold some of us, sir. You come from the people who help round some of us up and sell us. You sold us. So now you want to spin the block and come back over here to the people you sold who flipped the script. And we had an ethnogenesis and also a spiritual ethnogenesis that made us a divine lineage where we started to accomplish so many phenomenal things. You want to spin the block and say, hey, my bad, but these my people. Nah, I don't know about that, brother. And don't think we haven't heard the little jabs about slavery. A lot of you guys, the tether class, y'all make these little jabs about slavery. We hear it. You've said a couple of times, y'all proud about slavery. You know what? I'm proud that my foundational Black American ancestors survived that type of atrocity and then stood on business and then made sure that I was going to get the justice that I'm going to get. And they didn't run and flee to other places. They stood here, fought against white supremacy, taught me how to fight against it, and then helped people like you be able to come over here and live comfortably so that you're not gathering bushmeat and shea butter. You understand what I'm saying?
Sir, obviously you all aren't the biggest fighters because the majority of black Americans wouldn't still be in the South where most of slavery was held. You obviously are not the biggest fighters. It was actually white people who freed you. So you all didn't free yourselves.
Are you insane?
Is that why you're proud of your white lineage? Hmm?
Sir, we freed ourselves. Even Abraham Lincoln said the Civil War would not have been won if it were not for the freedmen. Black people, and I'm talking about a small group of Black people, shut the whole state of Florida down. They had to send the U.S. Army in there to fight the Black Seminoles down there and still lost. The U.S. government never won that fight. We were shutting this shit down on our own. They had to end slavery. These white people didn't do us no favor. We got ourselves out of slavery. We had sanctuary cities where white people couldn't even go in the damn Great Dismal Swamp that they're still studying now, sir. We freed ourselves and we stood on business. And yeah, we moved from the north and to the south. Many black people moved to the north. We got things popping up there. We had the Harlem Renaissance. We got Detroit popping, Cleveland popping, Philadelphia popping. We get some of these northern cities popping. We're still the dominant population in many of these northern cities, and we know how to go back down south. We don't flee, we move and exercise our rights as citizens in our country. So yeah, a lot of us go back and forth. This is our country, we can do that. We don't flee to other people's nations and then start claim jumping, sir. That makes sense?
Fleeing up north? Fleeing up north? Hmm?
How is that fleeing in our own country?
You fled from where it was bad. So what makes you think that Africans won't
North,
flee for where it's bad to come to see a better life
the,
in the United States?
sir, the North was just as bad. They just had better economic opportunities up in the North. But the racism was still there. We weren't running from racism. We had race riots up in the North. The same National Guard that was in the South was the same National Guard we fought in the North, sir. So we didn't run from anything. We just wanted to go get better jobs instead of just sitting out there doing agrarian work in the South. So we didn't flee nothing. And we went back and forth to the South and the North, sir. We're not like you. We didn't just abandon the homeland altogether and pledge allegiance to a whole new nation. No, 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 no. We stayed on our nation business. This is our shit. All of it, every inch of it is ours. And going from state to state is called exercising your rights. You see how that works?
I exercise my rights. I came over here to the United States. This is my country just as much as yours. And we do share lineage. Um,
No,
and
no,
yeah,
no, 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 no. You came here as an immigrant to something that my family built from the ground up. So it was a one-sided thing. You didn't benefit me whatsoever. Let's get that straight. We're not the same. My family stood on business, suffered, and put blood equity in the soil of this country to make it possible for you to come here. All you did was pull up a plate and eat. I didn't benefit from you one iota. So we're different, sir. Do you understand that?
the anti-African Black Americans have continuously perpetuated, whether that be boys in the hood calling Africans booty scratchers, is disgusting,
Sir,
and as well as
sir, sir,
the bullying when we were young, sir.
foundational Black Americans have been the only people that's been consistently fighting for African people, sir. There's no anti the liberation movements over there. We were the ones sparking that. It was Black people working with the UN to help people get their charter for independence over there. It was Black musicians and entertainers fighting to end apartheid. It was Black people going over there sparking some of the revolutions. It was Black people going over there lending their talent to feed people. I just talked about this, the We Are the World project. The biggest superstars in the world, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie, wrote the song We Are the World and donated their time to feed Ethiopia. That was what that was for. Sir, we've done way more than enough. I don't want to hear about all that bullshit. Malcolm X went over there trying to break bread with people. We've been the ones. Patrice Lumumba, when he came over here, he was going to a damn HBCU. So we've always embraced the people over there and tried to give them some game. When the first African immigrants came over here, we were funding that. We were raising money with Black churches, having them stay with us in our homes, making sure they were good and safe. I don't want to hear all of that. Brothers like Muhammad Ali, they went over there and had to rumble in the jungle to bring resources and shine over there to Africa when they were taking those boxing matches over there in the early 70s. We've always put Africa on the spotlight and showed them shine. We don't want to hear that bullshit. And then what we get in return is Myron Gaines. Y'all send that type of crap over here to us. You see?
Well, either way, expect Africans to claim FBA.
That's not going to work because we can tell. Number one, we can tell by the way you lied. You came in lying. And that's another thing. If you want to get rid of the damn janky, scammy stereotypes, don't be stereotyped. Don't come in lying. You came in talking about FBA as a group and I own it and I'm the leader. So you come in the room lying, and then y'all wonder why we want to delineate from that lying, scamming mindset. So we can tell that you ain't from our lineage just by your disposition, all of that lying and scamming all over the damn place. So get your mind right, respect the lineage. And I know you're trying to figure out how to claim our lineage. But that's not going to work because we're checking everybody's paperwork. All right.
We can easily claim it because we share the same lineage. You are African.
Um, sir,
So I'm yeah.
I am not an African. I'm not a continental African, sir. I have not lived on Africa. No African nation has given me any welcome to come over there and get citizenship. I am not no damn African. I am a foundational Black American. My family fought for me to still chill and kick it and thrive in the country that they built. I am a foundational Black American, sir. Everything about American culture comes from foundational Black Americans. This is my homeland, sir, and you're welcome because we made a way for you to come over here to get the hell away from Africa. Nobody's more anti-African than a goddamn tether. That's why you ain't over there, sir. Right?
I can claim FBA.
No, you can't, sir. No, you can't. The only FBA you can claim is fufu, biryani, and ass smell, because that's what you got over there in your apartment. All right. You're not a foundational Black American and you would never be. All right. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
We have the same link.
No, we don't have shit. All right. I'm telling y'all, these people, they want to cosplay. They want to cosplay us so damn bad. You know, family, somebody sent me a video link of a dude, a Nigerian dude, who actually does online courses on how to teach other Africans how to use our slang. This dude has whole courses. It almost looked like a parody, but he got like flashcards and the whole nine on how to use foundational Black American slang words. You did? But yeah, a lot of these cats try to cosplay as us. See, that ain't gonna work because we can tell. We can tell by your disposition. Now, some of the women, they can kind of get away with it a little bit because some of the tether women, they can put on wigs and lace fronts and they can put on a lot of makeup and stuff like that, so they can kind of blend in. You can hide behind makeup and hair. The dudes can't do that. You know what? You know what you can notice? You notice a lot of dudes running around with do-rags. I see a lot of these non-FBA gamer dudes, these dudes who are gamers, and you notice, I want you to notice, a lot of these non-FBA dudes, they run around here wearing do-rags outside. That's one way you can tell somebody's a tether. Because number one, foundational Black Americans, we don't wear do-rags out no more. We don't wear do-rags as fashion statements no more. That's played out. We used to wear that in the late 90s, early 2000s. You don't see FBAs ain't walking around using do-rags as no fashion accessory no more. We cut that shit out in 2005. But you see some of these dudes running around here with do-rags outside, usually as a tether, and they do that for two reasons. They're about a couple of decades behind the times. Also, they use those do-rags to cover up them goddamn hairlines. You understand? Because they know, they like the women, the women put on wigs, but them tethers, they know them hairlines speak volumes. They know that them foreheads and them janky non-FBA hairlines are very pronounced, and we can look at them hairlines and realize that they're not from the lineage. I'm telling you, look under them damn do-rags. They have them do-rags on real tight. They're covering up them damn non-FBA hairlines. Yeah, that's a way you can tell. That's one way, and there's other ways. You know, dude's got on a dress suit with flip flops and just a little shit like that. Yeah, there's other ways you can tell. And also watch the slang. Some of the slang when they are over enunciating the slang. Sometimes the slang it doesn't even flow natural. That's how you can tell too. That's why a lot of times when folks call up here, they're trying to talk in slang, and I can immediately tell that they're from somewhere else. I'm like, hey man, I hear a little accent in there. Where you from? Are you from Jamaica? Usually about 8 times out of 10, I can guess where they're from, even when they're trying to disguise their accent. You see? But it's very interesting. These cats are hell bent on cosplaying, man. It's foundational Black Americans. All right, let's get that guy Mike in the building. That guy Mike. Hop on that guy Mike.
Oh shoot. Uh, Appreciate you bringing up a honky like me to talk.
All right. So
Nah, nah.
now where you from, Mike?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Okay. And
Yeah.
are you an Irish guy or German?
Irish and Slavic.
Okay.
So, nah, you know, guess talking to what the other guy was saying, and everything else like that. I mean, what he's saying of just like, okay, African roots, all like that. You better identify all that shit. It's like me talking to like people over in Ireland or Slovakia and all that shit, and acting like I know what they're
Right.
saying. I don't.
That's
Um,
very interesting because white people are not told to you better identify as Irish. White people, they'll have Irish ancestry, and hell, white people come over here in like 1920, and you ain't never spoke to nobody Irish in your family since. A lot of That's another thing. Y'all don't have no connection to the people in Europe at all, do you?
Man, that ended with my grandparents. Like that was the last time they really had that. And frankly, like I said, all my poor and drunk ancestors that grew up in Philly, I got no connection to them. Like I don't know any of that shit. But foundational Black Americans. It's at least to me the way I look at it is the fact that like you want to know a foundational Black American is the fact that American government went and created Liberia, said, "Hey, we got a spot for you back where you came from and everything else like that." Liberia, like liberation, all that shit. And the fact is that y'all stayed.
Right, right. We didn't go for that.
Y'all
We didn't.
stayed because you knew. And the fact is, like living in Baltimore, especially, really unique area and all that stuff was a combination of both free Black Americans, enslaved Black Americans, and everything else like that. Really complicated. Like it, like yeah. It's like you guys basically made the city what it is.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, by the way. But yeah, they play this game with us like we're supposed to claim Africa. We ain't been nowhere near Africa for centuries, if at all, by the way, because there are a lot of Black Aboriginals here. And this dude, he lied about Lucia woman. Lucia woman has Negro features, and nothing has ever changed about that. But white people, dude, when white people get over here, white people have zero connection with what's going on over there in Europe. They don't rock with them at all. Let's get it. Yasir, Yasir. Hop in, Yasir.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, Yasir.
I didn't hear. Kind of cut off right
Oh,
there.
there, I said, what's going on with you, Yasin? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Um. So first of all, with the, I agree with some of the points that you're making. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like over centuries of people being in a different land, you kind of build your own different ethnogenesis and culture,
Hmm.
and you know what I'm saying? Like we are different.
Right.
Even though centuries ago we might have came from the same place, like we are different because of the cultures that were established over time.
Hmm.
But my whole like my whole shtick with the FBA movement is that like I feel like personally they're more focused on um not necessarily disrespecting, but like I feel like they look at Africans as their enemy more than the real enemy. Like I feel like we both have a common enemy. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true because, first of all, there's 43 million foundational Black Americans. You don't know what everybody's thinking at all. There's some people,
That's true.
there's a lot of foundational Black Americans. They're still supportive of African people. We wish you well. We don't want nothing bad to happen to you. But a lot of us now are looking to see what tangibles we can get for our lineage. We're just advocating for ourselves because we've done so much.
Hmm.
You understand? Now, you're Somali, right? There
Hmm.
you go. But yeah, there's 43 million of us. So there's not a monolithic mindset. There's not an ideology of foundational Black American. It's just a lineage, man. Some people are cool, some people are assholes, some people are pro-African, some people are anti-African. There's a lot of us. There's a big spectrum, and we're very diverse people. But the thing is, we don't target people based on their ethnicity.
Mhm.
Doing, we're getting some straightening because we've been targeted by everybody. See, everybody wants to say, oh, let's all get together, divisiveness, divisiveness. The problem is everybody has been coming over here othering us. It's all about coming over here benefiting off the things that we fought for and built. But then when people get their resources, it's stay away from the Akata, stay away from the Yanks. Over there in East Africa, y'all call us Jareers and Abids. I know what y'all say, because we
Mhm.
had to deal with some of your Somali brothers on these spaces for years, and we had to get them straight. So we're saying
But like when we use that word, I don't know about the Akata and all that. That's not
that's
my
West,
culture. When we You said
yeah,
what?
the Akata is more West African. East,
Yeah.
the Abids and Jareers and all of that.
Hmm. Yeah. No. The word about Jader is just. I feel like okay. So like when like okay, so cultures and languages are different because like if I can go in front of a crowd in America and tell a joke and then I can like translate it specifically to Japanese and go to a Japanese crowd, and that crowd they wouldn't resonate with the joke the same way that like an American crowd would because the cultures aren't the same, right? And so like in Somalia, when people use these words, I don't really think it's like a derogatory term. Like I feel like it's really an internet thing when people like take the word Jader and like they like try to make it seem like it's some type of derogatory
It,
term when it's really just go
it
ahead.
is. I don't like when y'all do that. It's a derogatory term. It is.
Eh, can I okay. So
Because it's always used as an insult. Just like Akata. The
mhm,
West Africans try to act like Akata ain't an insult. I hate when they do that because it's always used in a negative connotation every single time. So yeah, it is. That's
mhm.
fine. Just say that. It's always yeah.
Eh,
You're not only
and
yeah,
there's some validity to what you're saying.
right.
It's more of like okay, like when I came to now, I didn't come to America. I was born and raised in America. I'm first
Yeah.
generation. But like growing up, like the African American kids, they would see me, oh, African booty scratcher and whatnot, this, that, and the third. It's more of just like it's not like oh you're this. Like it's not like I don't think it's necessarily derogatory because our culture, the way we use words, we just describe people the way that we see it. Like we don't call only specifically Black Americans Jader. Like when we see like West Africans or Southern Africans, we also call them that word. And on top of that, like the word so like East Asians, like Japanese, Koreans, Chinese, Malaysian, etc. The word that we use for them, like right, like there's a word that we use when we're describing those people. Um, we use a word called indiyar, and indiyar is two words. It's small eyes. Like we call them like oh they got small eyes. Like that's how we descript those people. Like that's how we see them. That's just the way that we descript those people. Like when we're talking about Mexicans, we say dirbi kabod. Dirbi kabod means border hoppers because you know you can put two and two together. Like it's more like our culture, the way that we use words is like we descript people based on how we're introduced to these people. You know what I'm saying? Or like how we see these people. Because like in Somalia, you see people with a certain type of hair texture, and then you see other people that don't look like you. You just describe them how you can describe them. And like I don't think that's necessarily derogatory. I don't think it's I mean, you could deem it disrespectful, but that's subjective at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
but yeah, thank you. But yeah, it's derogatory. It's derogatory because it's used always and when kids use African booty scratcher, a lot of times we use that on each other, and that's something that kids do. Kids will taunt each other because you never see adults don't really run around using that. But kids will say African booty scratcher, but they'll be friend. That's American. We have a culture of roasting each other. You know? So yeah, we'll call you an African booty scratcher, a big head bitch, or whatever. But we'll be your best friend doing that. That's just a part of roasting culture. When y'all sit up here calling us Jareers and the beads and all of that, it's adults doing it, and they're being very hostile all across the board.
You've heard the buzz. You've seen the media stories. Now experience the truth for yourself. Microphone Check, the critically acclaimed documentary uncovering the true origins of hip-hop. Available now on Blu-ray and streaming on Amazon Prime. Visit microphonecheck.com to learn more and get your copy today. Microphone Check, the story hip-hop was waiting for.